Now I want to give a short overview about the subject, which is once again study maritime nautical sciences and engineering in Germany. Our guests, Professor Dr. Markus Bentin and Clemens Plaven-Salvini, both of them again will be introduced in a bit. Before, I also want to mention about the organizer of the session, which is German University, where you can find the programs that will be presented today and all other programs that are offered by German universities with lots of interesting filters. You can narrow down the searches and find the most suitable program for you. We also have lots of interesting articles. I suppose there will be lots of questions about visa or scholarship or what UniAssist is, because I think bachelor's program has application via UniAssist, so there could be some questions in this regard. And therefore, I will direct you to our articles about UniAssist or scholarship or other topics, or to our webinars regarding this broader topic of scholarship, UniAssist, visa, blocked account, and some others. So those two tools are helping you to get to know how it feels studying in Germany, how you can study in Germany, and with the subject webinars, you try to connect with your future program already before applying. This is our team. We are based in Hamburg, in Germany, and we are an international team and try to share our journeys and try to help you with our tips on how it's best to apply, and also share with you our own experience, how we applied and studied in Germany. Okay, I already mentioned our study finder, which is usually also my background, but today I try lots of new things, so I also tried a new background. But you can see the screenshot of the study finder on the left side of the slide, where we have I have narrowed down the search to maritime nautical sciences. As you can see, you can select multiple subjects that are related to your interests, because it can be always a program name / subjects, the same thing. And you can adjust filters in terms of language and so on. And then you see 30-degree programs, so 21 bachelors, 9 masters. Actually, it's the first time I have more bachelors and masters programs. Usually, especially like if you go for business administration or computer science, it's like 10 times more masters than bachelors. So it's also like interesting for me. Then you can also check our subject pages. We have really interesting subject pages where now we are providing much more information than earlier. I don't know if you already visited them or not, but they provide overview of a subject. You can also see universities which are offering such kind of programs, approximation of tuition fees, language requirements, application admission requests, and so on. And those are very interactive pages. There are even pre-filtered subject groups for you. Very important, and one of the reasons we are hosting those subject webinars is so that you understand the program and learn about the program content before starting to apply, because each program is very different, unique, and you need to understand it so that you are not guided only by, I don't know, rankings or some other suggestions, but you are making an informed decision and you know what awaits you, and so you understand the whole. I know all the information is provided on the pages online. You can always at any time read that, but this human and live communication could be also supportive or interesting for some. Really briefly about the universities in Germany. There are universities of applied sciences. What can be interesting for you is that, except of the name, is that universities usually have research and theory-oriented programs. Universities of applied sciences usually have practice-oriented programs. But again, there could be exceptions on both sides. Therefore, please check the program content itself. Another very important thing, and I am done then with my whole part, is that when you apply to a study program, please check qualification requirements. And for questions like, can I apply with this or that English certificate, or what are the exceptions, please always check qualification requirements, because such kind of technical regulations, let's say like this, are mentioned there, and usually they are fixed. So if it's written like this, then you have to follow those rules. You have to have a language certificate, even if you come from a country where you did your previous bachelor or high school in English, but it does not suit to the framework that the program has outlined. So I know here is some specific list of countries that are exempt or doing a 1 year or semester there. So please check qualification requirements, and then you already know if you can apply to a program or not. Okay, as already promised, I would like to give the floor to Professor Dr. Markus Benton and Clemens Salvini to introduce the two programs. So the mic and the Zoom virtual floor is all yours.
Yeah, thank you, Nino. Great having you all here. So I'm Markus. I'm the naval architect. That's Clemens. He's the captain. I will introduce a little bit the university itself. Then Clemens will take over, talking to you a little bit about the nautical science, and then I will take over and introduce you the master program we can offer. Garden right to the street. It's a maritime signal.
The fairway boy.
Yeah. So this is where we are. Wait there. So first, a little bit about our university and faculty. Then the study courses, first with this nautical study course, and then we will continue with the maritime operation. And then in the end, maybe some questions from your side. So where we are, we are in the very northwest of Germany. It's a bit close to Bremen, and on the Dutch side to Groningen. If you see Europe, we are somehow in the middle from the northern parts, and it is called East Friesland, and we are famous for shipping. It's the second most important area for the maritime industry. So we have big shipyards like Meyer Yard, and we have a big shipping community here. A lot of ship owners are hosted here in this small city of Leer, and down the river of Ems, and going to the North Sea. So you can study here, and you can also work here in the end. Some key facts. So the university has round about 30 bachelor study courses. Not all of them are English. 14 master courses. We have 3,800 students. The faculty here in Leer, we have round about 300 students, so it's a cozy study place. 470 employees, 110 professors. So here in Leer we have 10 professors, and it's not anonymous. You know them all in the end. And the university has 3 campuses, one in Emden, that is the main part, and 2 campi here in Leer, the maritime one and the one for the business campus. So the university has 4 faculties. The one we represent now is the maritime sciences here in Leer. Then social health and science, that is in Emden, as well as technical science, and business science, it's in Emden and also in Leer. We know internationality, so we are running this master program since 2017. We run the nautical science now since 5 years. We know how to host foreign students. We have an international office. We organize events for international students. We accompany them with buddies and help where we can. The university has 2 English bachelor degrees. This nautical science is one of them, and 7 English master programs. The maritime operation is one of them. And we have around about 100 partner universities around the world. So we are international. Our faculty, We have a modern campus. We have modern facilities. We have 3D labs. We have ship handling simulator where my colleague is seen. So that is very modern inside and also outside. That are the programs we are running. So we have this maritime engineering and management, but that's all in German. Sorry for that. We have this nautical science and maritime transport. This is where you are welcome. It's in English and German. We start English each summer semester, and then it's run through in English. And we have then the maritime operations. It's starting in the winter semester, and the details are coming a bit later. And another one, it's the vocational school, but it's also just in German. I think that's not interesting today. So the nautical science and maritime transport, I think their best is you can hear this from a captain, and therefore Clemens is introducing this course.
Thank you, Marcus, and welcome everybody also from my side. My name is Clemens. I myself also studied here in Leer. I went on to go to sea and later on pursued a career in teaching and science here in the faculty, and I'm very happy being here and especially welcoming international students, which always give a special flair and a special sense to our education here in diversity and in being interesting to come from different backgrounds. Nautical science and maritime transport is per se an international course of studies. The maritime industry is not limited to one place, one country, one ocean, but it is by nature worldwide. And thus the study course also represents this navigating and maneuvering all over the world. We do courses and simulator exercises in German waters, in British waters, in Malacca Strait, in US waters. So our simulator is very flexible and very well equipped, and we try to make full use of that. Also, cargo handling and stability is one of the key elements which any nautical officer, nautical master or chief mate has to have a good and thorough knowledge in. So it's not only taking the vessel from A to B, but also making sure that the vessel is in a safe condition at all times. Their stability is one of the key factors. And of course, that all the goods safely come from Asia to Europe, from Europe to South America, and whichever direction they need to go, it's quintessential. Communication. Yes, German is a language of communication here at the faculty, but also English is a very, very important language of communication, especially in the maritime context and in international shipping. Of course, any communication done worldwide amongst different ships or with port authorities is usually done in English. So therefore, there's a big focus also in the communication, and thus also the decision to make the course available both in English and in German was quite close at hand and was quite well received by most students here as well. Further, maritime law is important to not do something unwoefully wrong. We need to protect ourselves, especially if we're in charge of large ships carrying millions of euros or dollars worth of cargo, worth of ships. There is very large investments, there is very large assets involved. Thus, the maritime law is very important to both protect our interests as seafarers, but also protect the interests of cargo or ship owners, but also to protect, of course, the marine environment and countries engaged in maritime operations. And the basis for all of this, because it is a Bachelor of Science, is natural sciences. So also mathematics, physics are a basis for especially the simulator the understanding of how ships work, the understanding of how stability works, how to properly handle cargo. It is a big part to understand or to have a decent foundation in natural sciences. And thus, of course, especially in the beginning of the studies, we try to lay the groundwork there so everybody can have a good knowledge before going further into details regarding these topics. In general, the course of study takes, if you do it in the planned time, 8 semesters. You will receive a Bachelor of Science with the certificate to work as an officer of the watch on any size vessel. Thereafter is only the requirement for further sea time in order to advance through the certificates up to your master's certificate. Please be aware that having a master's certificate does not necessarily mean that you sail as a master. Typically, it is that you have to have your master's certificate for a little while before you can actually advance by the nomination from the shipping company through that rank to finally commandeer a ship yourself. The 8 semesters include 2 practical semesters. This is an international standard. Any cadet, any apprentice studying in an IMO recognized country will have to go through this process to have at least 12 months of sea experience before receiving their officer's license. So this is nothing special about about our course. However, there is something particular about our course. Many countries first have all the theoretical part and then go into the practical part. In our experience, this is not the best solution, because in case you do get seasick, in case you do experience that the marine life is not to your liking, is not suited for you, you've already invested 3 years of your life into studying something which you cannot pursue further. So for us, it is important that you do the practical semester or the first practical semester early in the studies. Usually it's planned for the 2nd semester, in order to actually see whether you're capable or willing to live the life that is necessary to become a professional seafarer. The English course of studies usually starts in March, so in the summer semester, as Mr. Bentin already said, and the language then is English. So basically every 2nd semester we switch between German and English. So if you start in an English course and you do everything as planned in the course of studies, you will go through the entire course of studies having all subjects available in English language. It is important that you fulfill the prerequisites, which is not only the ability to enter a German university, but very important is also the sea service certificate, the medical certificate according to the STCW convention, which is a prerequisite to be working on any seagoing ship. Without this certificate, we cannot enroll you in this program. So it is very important that as a preparation in the application process, you already acquire this certificate, which has to be renewed every 2 years for a small fee. It's not so bad, but it is an essential part of being enrolled in the maritime sciences. Where can you go to once you've completed your studies here? First is the service as a deck officer, eventually as a master on any size of vessel, be this tankers, be this research vessel, cruise ships, freighters. There is a lot of possibilities, a lot of vessels out there. Further, especially in Europe, there is a big lack of qualified personnel from the secondary market, be that in shipping companies, authorities, border control industry, border control insurance industry. Also, the pilots in Europe are an aging bunch, and they are looking for new personnel logistics centers, working in ports, and any sort of other peripheral industry. So there's a big range of possibilities which you will have, especially once you've embodied a few years of seagoing experience. Then your CV will certainly be one which is thoroughly wanted by the German industry. I can maybe give a small introduction, a small video from one of our students who recently, I think only last semester, finished a course of studies, and she's giving a little bit of insight into her experiences.
Preparation for a future career.
We have state-of-the-art equipment, which allows us to offer training that closely simulates real-life conditions. An interesting fact about our nautical study program is that we start every second semester in English. Providing the training in English is extremely helpful for all students, making it easier for them to access the job market.
I really enjoy having access to and being able to use a variety of simulators, even when there are no lectures being held. The atmosphere on our campus is great and very familiar, which is why we can address all kinds of challenges or problems individually.
The main future perspective is obviously to pursue a career as an officer in charge of a navigational watch or as a captain. However, there are many different paths to take. Especially in the coming decades, navigators will be sought after in various sectors. We are committed to optimizing your career path.
Find out more about the study program, Nautical Science and Maritime Transport, now.
Okay, so that was a short introduction about also the technical equipment we have. We really have state-of-the-art simulators. We're profiting from long experience here with simulation, and there is repeatedly being invested a lot of money into really having good equipment to provide the best possible, also practical education for our young professionals. And most of us, we really enjoy working with this technical equipment and also using it in numerous subjects and peripheral subjects to also go ahead there.
Okay, these are the most important things. So if you want to apply, you should apply as soon as possible at uni-assist. That is important. Otherwise, you might be in trouble with the visa. So visa process can take a bit longer, and I think it will open in middle of October, the uni-assist portal for the summer semester, and it's highly recommended to apply as early as possible. And deadline of application is 15th of March, but then the semester is already running, so that is just theoretically. We will try to make some lectures available over the internet to support it, so that you can listen to mathematics, for example. But we can't promise the whole first semester in a digital format. It might be 1 or 2 lectures to start if you have trouble with visa. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the residence permit is needed in order to commence studies here. And the student counseling we have available, so you can contact there. Any of our employees and co-workers will be happy to assist with all information required, apart from uni-assist and so on, which is custom for most German universities.
Yeah, maybe another interesting point for you is that there's no tuition fee. There's just an administrative fee, and for the student association, around about €300 and per semester. And the rest is the money you need is for living in Germany. You have to prove that you have enough that you can get a visa. That is maybe the bigger hurdle. Yeah, that was the nautical science.
Yeah. Happy sailing, I hope, with everybody.
And then I take now over for the maritime operations. Questions, I think in the end you can do for all. Maritime operations is our master program we are running together with our colleagues in Norway, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘯𝘨. So it's a joint degree with them. It's a 2 years master course with 120 ECTS. The university we are working with is the Western Norway University of Applied Science. They also have PhD programs, so that's interesting. And the location we are working together is hosted in Haugesund. So it's between Bergen and Stavanger. And yeah, this area in Norway is highly connected to oil and gas, and this is where they are well known for and the business they are running. The lectures is session based. So in Norway it's condensed in 3 weeks. Each month, one week of lecturing. Some weeks are mandatory. You get a lot of homework, so it shouldn't be underestimated. It's a lot of work to do. And then the second semester will be in Leer, so with us. That will be then 5 weeks each week. So it's starting with 2 weeks, then 1 week in May, and then again 1 week. 2 weeks. 2 weeks in June. So roundabout. And you also get a lot of homeworks. And then after the second semester, you need to make a choice which profile you want to choose. And maybe you are interested in the Haugesund profile, or maybe you are interested in our profile. I will show a bit later. So this is what you can expect in the autumn in Haugesund. So that's the first semester. You can now start to apply in Haugesund for next year. So the first semester started already in August this year, by end of August. And there are 3 modules in Haugesund: philosophy of science, research, design, and methods. It's educating you to do scientific working. And then safety and human factors, that is important in shipping and operations, because most of the errors are done because of the human factors. And then the last module is modern ship design, safety limitations and hazards. And that is looking into details why accidents happened from the technology side, what can be done better. Then in the spring in Leer, the second semester, it's about computational fluid dynamics. So we have a big laboratory here in Leer where you can make experiments, and there's the idea to experiment and also do a big CFD model, calculating it and try to measure it if it is for validation. Then cost accounting, it's important in operation and shipping. There must be a profit. Ship propulsion, understanding new propulsion concepts. We need to be saving CO2. What can be done? Where can be optimizations? Then again, quality and risk management that fits good to safety and human factors. So it's going further on that. And then applied approach to tools of optimization and simulation. If you want to have profit, you need to optimize, and there we show you some tools you can use. So that is then the second semester, and then you need to decide. If you decide the Haugesund profile, it's maritime technology and management. Then you have again 3 modules: subsea systems and operations, maritime operations, and ship operations and maintenance. Maritime operations, it's more hydrodynamics view on this. It's how ships are behaving in waves and how ship motions can be estimated. That is important for maritime operations. And then in the end, you can do then the master thesis, and that is then the last semester in 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝘨. It's with us similar, last semester master thesis. And then before that, we offer technical aspects of sustainable maritime operations. So you see our profile is sustainable maritime operations. We have a lot of research programs going into wind-assisted propulsion. So we have projects where we show and prove how to save CO2, how to sail. And these are then the aspects we are looking into. So there are technical things, how to design the sailing system. There are operational aspects, what you need to know when you want to sail, what are the risks, what is needs to be take care. And then also economical aspects. All these sailing systems cost a lot of money. When is the payback? And then we offer a maritime project. You can work with us in our projects, or you have new ideas what you want to do. And it can be a preparation for the master thesis. So there you can go then deeper. That is the basic idea of that. And in the end, what you can do, we have already a lot of shipping companies here, and their students who finished are employed there. You can go to supplier yards, to harbors, subsea industry, maritime authorities, engineering offices. So we have some of these here in Leer. Some of these are also in 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝘨. There's also subsea industry. There is a classification and maritime authorities are in 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪 from the Norwegian side. Shipping companies are in both cities. So everything is there possible. And it's, I think, an interesting international program with a lot of students coming from around the world. And I think this makes it very interesting also for networking. So it's you know after this a lot of colleagues around the world when you finish. It's an interesting network.
I can fully support that statement. I myself was in the second course, which in the second run of the masters, I've very much enjoyed the complexity of the different topics, but also the interaction with all the international students, and was a good learning experience.
Now following is also a short movie. It's done by our Norwegian colleagues. Hopefully that is also running with sound. Let's see.
The Western Norway University of Applied Sciences and the University of Applied Sciences, Hochschule Emden Leer in Germany, offer a joint master's in maritime operations. Study anywhere, anytime, and meet your fellow students 3 weeks each semester. The first semester, you will study at 𝘗𝘢𝘀𝑠und, Norway, and the second semester in Leer, Germany. The program combines the nautical domain with its focus on operational and organizational aspects with the engineering domain, which focuses on technical aspects, as well as managerial aspects related to the operational perspective. The purpose of such a combination is to cover maritime operations in depth and enable you to contribute towards improving and developing such operations. This will make you a valued asset for the maritime industry, both offshore and onshore. Join us and apply by April 15th.
Yeah, so I hope you had sound. We had no sound. Oh,
It was all good again.
okay. So here in Leer, you can check out our homepage. There's also an introduction round through our laboratory. There you can find a wind channel like there, but we also have a towing tank and a maneuvering tank and this sound room.
Acoustic lab.
Acoustic lab. And beside that, we have also a ship handling simulator and all other interesting things. So this can be found also online. We have also some nice things for students, so they can do some sports. We have rowing boats, and there's also some competitions for this. And we have a sailing boat. Sure, we are doing sailing, so you can sail also to the islands in front of our coastline. So this is what you can do here. And maybe you have a lot of questions. If you have questions for the master for where to apply, you need to apply at the Norwegian site in 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘆. But we can also assist you. And yeah, if you have questions, yeah, we are happy to answer.
Maybe as one final statement, in the beginning, Marcus talked about the small town of Leer and the locality, and that we are a relatively small campus. Me personally, I've done my course of studies here, and I'm working here as a lecturer. I really enjoy this proximity. It's a small community. Each lecturer knows each student by name and vice versa. It's not anonymous. It's not one in a big crowd. Your concerns will be taken seriously. Anything can be discussed. So it is a very cozy and comfortable atmosphere. And we would be happy to enrich that by a few more international students.
Thank you very much for this very interesting presentations. And yeah, I also want to agree to the last point mentioned about the importance of not being one of the crowd, because as international, it's also lots of changes, and then it's really nice to have this close communication with lecturer to clarify things, and office hours, you don't have to wait for many weeks to get an appointment, so it's really a benefit. Now I'd like to start, actually the very first question that came is the last point you mentioned, Professor Bentin, about the application by Norway, and the question is the application processed by Norway? If so, do they have special requirements, or I follow whatever is on the page?
Yeah, follow the requirements, what is there on the page. So that are the requirements. So you need to have English B2. You need to prove this. You need to have a maritime background or mechanical engineering background, and then you can apply. Roughly. So in details, it's on the application page of the Western Norway University, where you can apply for the study course, also for the information. You can check our homepage. It's written the same, and there you find also a link to the Norwegian homepage.
Thank you so much. I can maybe also share, so in case you want, you can also have look like what are the requirements, bachelor's degree, which kind of ECTS you need. Then there is this list of documents that you have, and you can go to course website, which doesn't bring me now, I don't know why, but I think that's here. Yeah. And you can also have all the information here. The links, dear Elena, if I correctly recall, are all in chat. The next question: good evening. Application deadline is 1st of December, and if accepted, I will start in August. When should we expect the application results? After December? And since it is a double degree, which visa should I apply to?
I think when I remember correctly, we do the selection in early spring, and he will get announcement by March, April, if he is accepted or not. So usually it's enough time for the visa, and he should ask for a Norwegian visa. And the nice thing is Norway is in Schengen room. So if you have a Norwegian visa, you can also travel to Germany.
Is navigational officer's assistant position accessible to everyone? The 2 practical semesters, do they have extra cost? How are they organized?
No, they are not an extra cost. So if they are lucky, they are getting some money.
They are usually paid. So it's, of course, compared to an officer's salary, much less. But these are usually regular employment contracts with a little bit less salary. But primarily, it is the student's obligation to organize a position as a cadet or as an education position. However, if they struggle to get an appropriate position, to get an appropriate contract, we do have persons to assist in the application process and also in the organizing of these practical semesters.
And this officer's assistant, is it the part of the semester or something extra?
There is the option to go either as cadet or as so-called officer's assistant. They are two a little bit separate organized apprenticeships. The cadetship is via the university primarily, and the officer's assistance is via a second institution in Germany, which then gives basically the certificate that they have done the appropriate time on board.
Thank you. I think the next question is also for bachelors. Is there a link how to get this health certificate?
Yes, we can provide a link from the B.Sc, which is the German Office for Hydrography, and they have a list of associated doctors or links to other countries which have endorsed doctors, because it is very important that the doctor who issues the certificate is also recognized internationally to be able to issue such a certificate. We can share that with you, Nino, and then maybe you can put it in the links accordingly.
Of course, thank you. Do you have your own housing, and do you provide feedback on rolling base, I guess about enrollment, or wait until the deadline is closed?
We have some housing, so the university rented a property where we operate the rooms by the faculty, so we can assist there with housing. And you need also for the visa usually a certificate where you are living. So there we provide you with this. And the last question I didn't got, so we don't wait until what?
The question is, so do you, for example, for bachelor's programs and master's, do you wait until the application deadline is closed and only then start processing, or do you provide feedback on rolling basis?
So, they need to apply at UniAssist, and as fast as UniAssist delivers then the papers to us, we decide we take or we take not. So the bachelor program is at the moment not closed, so it's open. So when the application is coming and it's valid, it's accepted.
But I think in the
Thank
master's
you.
program, it is at one date, which all the
Yeah.
applications are reviewed, and then there is only one decision process. So
Yeah.
bachelor's is continuously open, master's is only at a certain date in spring when the feedbacks do come out.
Thank you. Hi, I wonder whether this program is suitable for those who would like to work in the field of maritime logistics management / operation.
Which one, the bachelor or the master?
I
So in
would guess
general,
both.
both. In general, both. So the maritime operation is logistics. It's how to understand how shipping is working, and what are the challenges in shipping. And when you study nautical science, you are able doing it even.
Yeah. But also with nautical science, you have the option to work as a nautical officer later. But as mentioned previously, also you have the option to work in shipping companies, in logistics companies. You will find jobs anywhere, basically.
Last two questions. Can bachelor's in engineering degree holder from aerospace major apply as some of the course title aligns? What are the chances?
There we each time discuss a little bit. So if we find some maritime background, might be possible, but I can't promise. So that is in the end a discussion with the colleagues in Haugesund if we accept or not. We need to look there in detail if it is comparable to mechanical engineering or if it differs too much.
Thank you. And the same background question, is engineering and or natural science background a must? So maybe I can write the previous degrees that are accepted. It says a bachelor's degree or equivalent in mechanical engineering, nautical science, maritime studies with 80 credit specialization in technical and or nautical courses, and in total 180 ECTS. I can put this in chat, and Professor, if you have any feedback, feel free to mention. Yeah, I think then this is correct. So you need to have a background in one of the listed specializations, and then you are very welcome to apply. Good.
Yeah.
What is, of course, the best if you study nautical science here, and then you have the best basis to do the maritime operations masters.